My beloved child. Stop scrolling for just a moment. Do not let this message pass you by, because what you are about to hear feels as though it was waiting for the exact moment your eyes found it. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and every moment of this story is connected to the title that brought you here. Last night, while the world was becoming quiet and lights slowly disappeared from the windows of countless homes, another conversation was only beginning. It was not loud. It was not filled with arguments. It was a conversation carried by careful voices, thoughtful pauses, and hearts searching for answers. Around a family table, your soulmate's family began asking questions about one person. That person was you. No one expected your name to become the center of the evening. No one planned for the discussion to continue for hours. Yet the moment your name was spoken, everything changed. Don't skip. Every sentence that followed carried more weight than the one before it. One family member quietly asked, "Who are they really?" Another wondered, "What kind of heart do they have?" A third simply remained silent, waiting for someone who truly knew the answer. At first, your soulmate said nothing. The silence became longer. Everyone noticed. They waited. Because sometimes silence reveals more than words ever could. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate looked around the room, took a slow breath, and finally began to speak. No dramatic performance. No perfect speech. Just honesty. They spoke about the moments no one else had ever seen. They remembered the kindness you showed when nobody was watching. They remembered your patience during difficult seasons. They remembered the dreams you quietly carried without asking anyone to notice. They remembered the way you continued moving forward even after disappointment tried to convince you to stop believing. As every memory was shared, the atmosphere inside that room slowly transformed. Faces that had once been uncertain became thoughtful. Questions slowly became understanding. Curiosity slowly became respect. But the conversation was far from over. One relative leaned forward and asked another question that changed everything. If this person is truly who you describe, then why haven't we met them yet? The room became silent once again. Don't skip. This moment matters more than you realize. Your soulmate smiled very gently. Not because everything had already happened. Not because every obstacle had disappeared. But because they carried a quiet confidence that could not easily be explained. They answered with calm certainty. Some people arrive in our lives according to perfect timing, not according to human schedules. Those words settled over the entire room. No one interrupted. No one laughed. Everyone simply listened. One by one, family members began remembering small things they had heard about you before. Someone recalled your generosity. Another remembered hearing about your determination. Someone else spoke about your respectful nature. Little by little, scattered pieces came together like a beautiful picture that no one had fully seen until that very night. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation became deeper. Instead of asking whether you were worthy of being welcomed, they began asking something completely different. What kind of future could this person build? What dreams do they carry? What makes them different from everyone else? Notice how quickly everything changed. The questions were no longer searching for flaws. They were searching for possibilities. That is why last night became unforgettable. Not because someone forced opinions to change, but because truth quietly found its place. Sometimes truth does not arrive with loud announcements. Sometimes it walks softly into a room, sits patiently, and allows every heart to discover it one moment at a time. Your soulmate watched this transformation happen before their own eyes. They realized that people who once knew almost nothing about you were now speaking about your future with genuine interest. The atmosphere continued changing. Warm smiles slowly replaced uncertain expressions. Hope quietly replaced hesitation. And then came the question no one expected. What do you think makes this person so special? Every eye turned toward your soulmate again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate did not rush the answer. Instead, they looked down for a brief moment, almost as if replaying countless memories that no one else had witnessed. Then they smiled. Not a smile of excitement. A smile of gratitude. Because they understood something that words could barely express. They answered. They never tried to become someone else just to impress people. They remained true to who they are. That is something I cannot forget. The room became completely still. Those words reached every heart. Authenticity cannot be easily explained. It can only be recognized. And last night, it was recognized. One older family member slowly nodded. Another quietly agreed. Someone whispered. That kind of character is rare. The conversation that had begun with questions was now becoming something entirely different. It was becoming appreciation. It was becoming respect. It was becoming hope. But one final moment remained. The moment that no one in that house would ever forget. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. After listening to everything your soulmate had shared, one family member quietly spoke a sentence that surprised everyone sitting at the table. If everything we've heard tonight is true, then perhaps we have been looking at this story from the wrong direction. The room fell silent once more. No one argued. No one disagreed. Everyone simply reflected on everything they had heard. Sometimes one honest conversation changes months of uncertainty. Sometimes one truthful answer changes years of assumptions. Last night became one of those nights. It became the night when questions slowly transformed into understanding. When uncertainty quietly became hope. When curiosity gently became respect. And your soulmate sat there realizing that something invisible had shifted forever. No grand announcement. No dramatic ending. Just hearts that had quietly changed because truth had finally been spoken. Don't skip. Because this story has only just begun. What happened after that conversation was even more unexpected than anyone imagined, and the next part reveals the decision that no one saw coming. Stay with this journey, because every chapter brings you closer to the moment that changed everything forever. The room remained completely quiet, but the silence no longer felt uncertain. It felt different now. It felt as though every person sitting there knew they had reached a turning point they would remember for a very long time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. No one expected what happened next. One family member slowly stood up and walked toward the window, looking into the peaceful night outside. After several moments, they turned around and asked a question that instantly captured everyone's attention. If this person truly carries all these qualities, then why does it feel like we already know them, even without meeting them? The room became silent once again. Your soulmate looked around the table and smiled gently. Because deep inside, they realized something extraordinary was unfolding. Sometimes people recognize the light of a person's character before they ever shake their hand. Stay till the end. This story is only becoming more incredible. Another voice spoke from across the room. I've listened carefully tonight, and every answer has been consistent. No exaggeration. No confusion. Just sincere admiration. Those words settled into every heart. Nobody interrupted. Nobody disagreed. Instead, every person began remembering another detail your soulmate had shared over time. They remembered hearing about your patience. They remembered hearing how you never stopped believing when circumstances became difficult. They remembered hearing how you encouraged others even during your own challenging seasons. Little by little, the picture became clearer. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. One family member quietly opened an old notebook that rested on the table. Inside were plans, dreams, future hopes, and conversations written over many months. As they slowly turned each page, they noticed something surprising. Your name had quietly appeared more than once. Not because someone planned it. Not because anyone forced it. But because every important conversation somehow returned to you. The room became filled with amazed expressions. Your soulmate had never realized how often your story had naturally become part of their future conversations. One person smiled and softly said, "Maybe this wasn't coincidence after all." The atmosphere immediately changed again. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment no one expected. The oldest member of the family folded their hands together and spoke with remarkable calm. People can describe achievements. They can describe success. They can describe appearance. But tonight, every description has been about character. Everyone looked toward your soulmate. They quietly nodded. Because it was true. Every answer had pointed back to one thing. Your heart. Not your possessions. Not your popularity. Not temporary things. The conversation had become centered around the person you truly are. Don't skip. Every second matters now. One younger family member suddenly smiled and laughed softly. I thought tonight would be a simple conversation. But somehow, It feels like we've been hearing the story of someone we've been waiting to know. Those words created another long silence. Not an uncomfortable silence. A meaningful one. The kind of silence that appears when people realize something beautiful has been quietly unfolding for much longer than they understood. Your soulmate looked down for a brief moment. Their heart was filled with gratitude. Because they realized they never had to invent stories about you. Truth had been enough. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another unexpected question entered the room. If they walked through this door tonight, what would we say first? Everyone smiled. One person answered. We would welcome them. Another replied. We would want to hear their story. Another added. We would want them to feel comfortable. Your soulmate listened quietly. Every answer felt like another closed door gently opening. Hope continued growing. Respect continued growing. Expectation continued growing. Don't skip. The biggest moment has not arrived yet. Then someone reached for a family photograph resting nearby. They looked at every smiling face before quietly saying, one day, perhaps another picture will be taken. Nobody laughed. Nobody dismissed the thought. Instead, everyone imagined the possibility. Not because it had already happened, but because they could finally see it becoming possible. The conversation had completely transformed. It no longer centered around questions. It centered around hope. One family member finally looked directly at your soulmate and asked, tell us honestly. When you think about your future, do you still see this person standing beside you? Without hesitation. Without uncertainty. Your soulmate answered with complete confidence. Every single time. The room became completely still. Those 4 words carried more emotion than anyone expected. Every heart understood exactly what they meant. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The evening slowly came to an end. Chairs were gently pushed back. Lights became softer. The conversation appeared finished. But something remarkable happened as everyone prepared to leave. One by one, family members quietly approached your soulmate. Some offered a smile. Some placed a reassuring hand on their shoulder. Some simply nodded. No speeches. No dramatic moments. Just quiet approval that spoke louder than words ever could. Your soulmate watched each moment carefully. Because only hours earlier, none of this seemed possible. Don't skip. This is where everything begins to change. As the house became peaceful again, your soulmate stepped outside for a few moments beneath the quiet night sky. They looked upward. A gentle breeze passed by. They closed their eyes and whispered only one sentence. I believe everything is moving exactly as it should. That single sentence carried peace. Not because every answer had already arrived, but because hope had become stronger than uncertainty. The family discussion had changed everything. Not through pressure. Not through persuasion, but through honest words spoken from the heart. And although the conversation had finally ended, its impact had only just begun. The very next day would bring an unexpected moment that no one around the table could have predicted, a moment that would make every word spoken that night feel even more meaningful than before. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter reveals the surprise that changed the direction of this story forever. A new morning arrived, but it did not feel like an ordinary morning. Something had quietly changed overnight. The conversation that began the previous evening had not stayed inside that room. It had remained in every heart that heard it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As sunlight filled the windows, your soulmate noticed something unexpected. Messages were beginning to arrive. Not one. Not two. Several. Each message came from a different member of the family. None of them were long. None of them were dramatic. Yet every single one carried the same feeling. Curiosity had become confidence. Questions had become hope. The discussion from last night had continued even after everyone went home. Stay till the end. Because this is where everything begins to change. One message simply read, "I kept thinking about everything you shared." Another said, "I couldn't stop remembering the story you told." A third message was even shorter. "I understand now." Those 3 words stayed in your soulmate's mind. I understand now. Sometimes that is all it takes. Not 100 conversations. Not endless explanations. Just one moment when understanding finally reaches the heart. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Later that day, another family gathering happened by chance. No one planned it. No one announced it. But once again, your name quietly entered the conversation. This time, something was different. Nobody asked whether you were the right person. Instead, they began asking about your dreams. What inspires them? What kind of future do they imagine? What makes them smile? Your soulmate realized something extraordinary. The conversation had completely changed direction. The family was no longer trying to discover who you were. They wanted to know more because they already respected what they had heard. Stay till the end. The biggest surprise has not happened yet. One family member opened a small photo album filled with memories from years gone by. As they slowly turned each page, they smiled. Then they quietly said, "Every family reaches a moment when a new chapter begins." Everyone looked up. Nobody spoke. The sentence remained in the room like a gentle reminder that every beautiful story begins long before anyone realizes it. Your soulmate could feel hope growing stronger. Not because everything had already happened, but because every obstacle that once seemed impossible was quietly becoming smaller. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the question that surprised even your soulmate. If we ever meet this person, what do you think will surprise us the most? The room became wonderfully quiet. Several answers were offered. their kindness, their calm spirit, their honesty, their respect. But your soulmate softly smiled and answered differently. I think what will surprise you most is how ordinary they appear at first, until you truly know their heart. Everyone paused. That answer stayed with them. Because genuine character is rarely loud. It reveals itself slowly. And once it is seen, it is never forgotten. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the afternoon continued, one older relative shared a memory from many years earlier. They spoke about how first impressions often fade, but true character becomes stronger with time. Then they looked directly at your soulmate. If everything you've shared is true, then don't let fear make decisions that hope should make. Those words touched everyone. Your soulmate quietly nodded. Because sometimes wisdom arrives through simple sentences. Sometimes one sentence becomes the turning point of an entire journey. Don't skip. The story is reaching another unforgettable moment. Before everyone left, one family member made a suggestion that no one expected. We've heard enough stories. One day, we would like to hear directly from them. For a brief moment, the room fell completely silent. Your soulmate felt both surprised and grateful. Only yesterday, people were asking questions. Today, they were hoping for a meeting. Everything had changed. Not because someone tried to convince them, but because sincerity had quietly spoken for itself. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As evening arrived once again, your soulmate walked outside to reflect on everything that had happened during the past 24 hours. The stars slowly appeared. A gentle breeze moved through the quiet air. They remembered every question, every answer, every smile, every moment of silence. Then they realized something remarkable. The conversation that started with uncertainty had become a conversation about possibility. And possibility has a way of opening doors no one expected. Don't skip. The next moment is one you will remember. Just before going inside, your soulmate received one final message. It came from the family member who had spoken the least during the previous night. The message contained only one sentence. I believe we should stop wondering about this person, and start looking forward to meeting them. Your soulmate read those words again. And again. A quiet smile appeared. Because those words confirmed what their heart had already begun to believe. The family had not simply changed their opinion. They had changed their expectation. Now they were waiting with hope instead of hesitation. And that single shift made all the difference. But what happened the following evening surprised even your soulmate. A completely unexpected visitor, an unforgettable conversation, and one heartfelt decision would bring this story to a level no one imagined. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter reveals the moment that truly changed everything forever.